happy Vlogmas. This is my first video of the Vlogmas season for this year. So I hope you guys enjoy and let me know down below what you'd like to see from me this month. I'm going to try to post every day. But this is going to be my eyeshadow roulette. I am going to kind of expedite this video. I'm a little bit short on time today to film, unfortunately. So I'm not going to be putting the shadows on my eyes, but I am going to do a get ready with me throughout the month sometime, so maybe I can incorporate the shades that I roll in today in that. So let's go ahead and start with the shades that I had in my rotation from November. Now, some of these did halt progress because I was in Germany for Thanksgiving and did not bring any of my shades with me, actually, now that I think about it. So I don't have as much use as I have had in other shades in the past, but I still tried to focus on them. With one exception. One I only used one time, and that is the shade Pose, which comes from my Fade into Hue palette. I did pop it out and put in the C palette. It's this kind of like lime green. It is a shimmer shade, and to be honest, I put it on in the look I did in my November update. So that's kind of what it looks like. And never reached for it again. So kind of a fail there. Just use it the one time. I really should have tried to use it because it has like a really pretty kind of yellow green reflect, but as you can see on my hand, the base color is not that deep. So I actually think I could have made a few cool looks. I probably will try to use it a time or two in December just to play with it, but yeah, this one didn't get that much use. Okay, the other shades I had, though, I did use more than one time. So the next one I had is from the Anastasia Sultry palette. This is a palette I absolutely love, and I'm trying to get, a decent amount of use in here. So I pulled the shade Cyborg, which is the shimmer silver in here, and I did end up using Cyborg 4 times. I do have it on my lid today. It's a really pretty silver. I honestly was intimidated by it for the longest time, but now I'm really growing to like it. And it kind of almost has like a purpley taupe, base pigment to it. So in the, outside of the light, you can still kind of see that color there, and it's really pretty, but it is high impact. I love the Anastasia formula. So I did use it 4 times. If I brought this palette on my trip with me, I probably would have used it more, but I decided not to bring this palette and to bring a different one. But still very, very happy with it. 4 times is great. Cyborg has been in this project already this year, so it's not the first time I've used it, and I'm always in my sultry palette, so I do use it from time to time on its own. Next, we've got the Colourpop That's Taupe palette, and the shade I pulled from here is called Pebble Beach, which is this middle brown up here. It's a matte, and I used it 5 times throughout the month. And I do really enjoy this shade. It's a great crease shade. It's very soft. The kind of tone of it is great for like an everyday look. So I did end up reaching for this a lot of the times when I needed just a regular, brown kind of shade. That was my go-to. So that worked out really well for me. And I did enjoy reaching for this. I haven't had this palette out for a while, and there's some really pretty, shades in here. It's kind of like a plain looking palette, but I really appreciate the utility that this offers. So I was happy to have this out. Okay, I realized I lied. I did bring the last shade with me on my trip. I just didn't use it. So this is from the Bare Necessities palette. This is the shade On Holiday. I put it in this little Ulta single container that I have from another shadow that I didn't need to bring. Worked out really well. To pack it this way, I didn't break or anything, but I didn't end up using it. I like this in the crease. It's a very, very light kind of matte brown, but kind of like a gray tone to it. And I actually prefer to use it as a contour. So I packed it to use it as a contour, but when I was in Germany over Thanksgiving, so that's it there, you can see it's a really nice kind of shadow shade. That's why I like it for contouring for me. But in Germany, you had to wear a mask the entire time, even outside walking around in public or at the markets or just to a different restaurant. There were people out, I don't know what their titles were, but they had official vests, healthcare control, and they were, you need to put your mask on. So I really wasn't doing as much face makeup while I was there because I was wearing a mask. So I didn't end up contouring at all. But I did use this one 5 times. Like I said, I really enjoy it. This one has also been in a few different times throughout the year, but I prefer it as a contour. So less in the eyes, but more on the face, and it just works really well. So I do want to keep working on this one and using it because, I can use it in addition to a lot of other shades. And because I'm using it on my face, it doesn't feel like it's always directly competing. So I probably will keep this one out and put it in my little Z palette here and just kind of have it on rotation for the days I want to contour. So that is the little quad I was working with in November. Let's do a little pan percentage update for you. So I did not hit pan on any shades in the month of November. However, I did bring in a new eyeshadow palette, so this is exciting. I did participate in the Sephora VIB sale, and the only eyeshadows that I picked up was this little quint from Natasha Denona. It's the mini retro palette. I think that these are great for the price point. One of these is $25, which I think is very reasonable. And then I did get it on sale, so I, it's a little bit lower than that, 15% off. But these are the shades, and I did bring this to Germany with me, along with my Soft Glam 2 palette. And it is so pretty. So I did add in 5 new shades into my spreadsheet. So there is a chance I could pull one of these today, but I also increased the number of eyeshadows. So now I have 120 eyeshadows instead of 115. I still have pan on 15 of those. So that means that my pan percentage is 12.5%, which I'm really, really happy with. I didn't expect to ever get to like double digits. So the fact that I'm over 10% and I'm at 12.5 is phenomenal to me. I would love to, hit pan on something in December to kind of keep that trend going. But I also think that I'm going to be doing a makeup declutter, and some of these palettes are on the chopping block. So that'll recalculate my pan percentage as well if I do decide to get rid of things and all of that good stuff. But 12.5 right now. So now is the exciting time. We're going to roll in 4 new shades. So I'm going to wipe these off of the back of my hand here, and we're going to get ready to roll in new shades. So how I do this is I have a spreadsheet, and I'm just looking to kind of get more use out of my shadows. I kind of would like to try to use them each 5-ish times, but that's kind of just a rough estimate. So I will roll 4 shades here and then check if I need to do any re-rolls. I would do a re-roll if any of these shades that are in my project pan kind of come into this, because I don't feel like I need to double dip between the 2 projects. So we'll see if that happens. It hasn't been happening lately, but we'll just kind of see. And then also if any of the 4 shades that I just had in roll, I'm going to re-roll to give those a month off and I can have fresh selection. So let's go ahead and do the dang deed. So we've got 47, 78, 33, and 119. So give me just a second to check these numbers and I'll be back to tell you what they are. All right, you guys, so I did roll in one of the shades that was in my last quad. So we do need to roll one more number, and that is 49. Okay, so the 4 shades that I rolled in are from a variety of palettes. I'm really looking forward to it. So the first number I rolled was number 47, which actually comes from my mini retro. So how exciting that one of these is already pulled in. And the shade I got is Galaxia, I believe is how you say it, Galaxia. And it took me a second to figure out which shade, but I believe it's this like sparkly one here, because I know that this is vintage taupe. I know that this is 60s. And so that because of how it is on the back, I wish that they would just put these directly behind, but whatever. Anyway, so this is the shade. It's a very sparkly kind of like rosy gold shade. It's going to be great all over the lid. I can also use that as a topper. I did that a few times. So it does have a nice base, but the shine on it is incredible. So very, very pleased that this one rolled in. I feel like it's going to look awesome on a variety of looks. And like I said, I can use it as a topper, which it has such this like high shine, almost like dual chrome to it, that I think it'd be really pretty just kind of tapped on top of a bunch of different looks. So awesome that this is in. The next shade I rolled in is from a quad. This is a build your own quad that I did from Anastasia, and I pulled in the shade Dusty Rose, which I know is one of these, but I can't remember which one. So let's see here. Okay, so it's this one right here, Dusty Rose. And I do really like this shade. I do have it in another palette, but it would be fun to have this quad out for the winter time because there's like really pretty kind of pinks in here. So that is a swatch of it. It's just kind of like a mauve-y rose shade that's great for the crease and outer corner. So that should be easy. I think even these two together could make a really pretty look. So far, so good. Okay, the next one is the one I'm nervous about. It comes from my Fade into Hue palette, which is my rainbow palette. I'm typically not a rainbow eyeshadow wearer, but this palette is helping me expand. So the shade is called Watermark, and I have not looked yet. So here we go. Watermark. It's a bright, shimmery blue. Oh my gosh, I should have known Watermark. So it's this one right here. And it's got like, wow. Wow, I'm definitely just going to be using this like lightly on the lower lash line, maybe buffed a little bit into the crease very lightly, but this is not a color that I normally would ever reach for. So wish me luck. I do have blue eyes, so maybe that'll help, maybe that'll hurt. I don't know, but that is like, that's like blue raspberry blue, if you know what I mean. Like, that's artificial. Okay, let's reel it back in. The last shade I have comes from Bare Necessities palette, and this is all neutral palette, so it can't be that bad. It's the shade Haute, which actually has been in a number of times. I can't get away from the shade. So it's this kind of like rusty terracotta orange shade here that I think will be really easy and pretty to use. I've used it a number of times. Oops, that's not a very good swatch. So I know it's good and I know I like it, but that is quite the combo. So I'm going to leave it here and let myself digest without you guys watching me and maybe like cry a little bit, but no, I'm just kidding. It's eyeshadow. It's just fun and games. But yeah, this is kind of one of the more exciting quads I've had, but I'm going to be vlogging this whole time. So you guys will see me when I use the blue and when I use the other shades, but we're doing it, man. We're doing it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you are doing something similar to this. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep doing this in the new year or not. Let me know what you would like to see from me for eyeshadow, like roulette. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a pan that palette, but I'd like to do something random as well. But I don't know if I want to commit to the full like pan those eyeshadows. So can you guys let me know in the comments what you would like to see or what your approach has been, if something kind of hybrid has been working for you. I'd love to hear about it. But that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.